Hello and welcome, YouTube world. It's Jared, and today I'll be reviewing Sanctuary by Joji. So, on to it. So, first of all, I wanted to just talk about the time that it came out and the significance it had. So, it came out 2019, before COVID-19, but I still wanted to include COVID-19 because, personally for me, it had a big significance in getting through the isolation that I had to go through with quarantine and everything. And as we can tell, it's a song about sanctuary, so it's in the name. But specifically somebody who is your sanctuary. And that's like my sanctuary was kind of taken away from me because I had to quarantine. But it was that phase of boredom and I don't know, reminiscing on the good times with the special people in my life. And it just showed me how much I valued those people. And I think the greater thing is that it could have served that to anybody. And I think everyone has their own special connection. And that's mine with it because I really listened to it when I was in the pandemic and kind of alone. I did have my family, but yeah, that's the significance of Sanctuary to me. And I think people can relate to that. Maybe not specifically like I did with the pandemic, but in some way. So, onto the theme. Just wanted to make the connection. As we see on the right, there is a ship that is in the music video Sanctuary. And then on the left, it's a ship from Star Trek. Now, you may not see like a visual similarity, but there's definitely themes picked up from Star Trek. One of these happens to be warp speed. I'll definitely point that out when we're watching the video. But yeah, the whole vibe and aesthetic of it relates back to Star Trek, to an older kind of theme, you know? But yeah, let's get into the video. Here's the main villain, and yeah, we'll get to see the story and everything. Right there, start of the music video, he's destroyed his villain, and then cuts to 1 year later.
Go ahead and bark after dark, fallen star, I'm your one call away. Motel halls, neon walls.
So one thing that we see from the start, right after they destroyed their villain, we can see it from Joji and everybody on the ship too. It's just a sense of boredom. Like, what is there to do? They've destroyed their only villain.
When night falls, I am your escape.
Here, so we've already seen him reminisce with the eye because it was the eye that he took from the villain. But here we see him reminisce on this crystal that will be later explained, but it has some value to all the fun and hard times that Joji went through.
When you lay alone, I ache. Something I wanted to feel. If you've been waiting for falling in love, baby, you don't have to wait on me. 'Cause I've been aiming for heaven above.
And then kind of here we see him contemplating some stuff as he looks into this spoon, and there's a greater value that I won't really spoil, but the spoon has some significance. So just pay attention to it, and but yeah.
But an angel ain't what I need. Not anyone, you're the one, more than fun, you're the sanctuary. 'Cause what you want is what I want.
So just on the dance moves there and everything, it was definitely upbeat kind of It was a weird dance for sure. There was some weird movements going on, but it was energetic and they seemed happy. Obviously, their enemy had to go rain on their party, but yeah. So there we see the theme of the villain taking the crystal, them taking the crystal, and just that repetition there.
Dream alone, lie awake. I'll give you something so real. If you've been waiting for falling in love, baby, you don't have to wait on me. 'Cause I've been aiming forever to love, but I ain't.
So obviously that whole thing was just them reminiscing on the past, as we could see. And it shows the hardships of the crystal being taken from them losing some friends. And then it also shows them getting the crystal and all the fun that they went through to get the crystal. It was definitely hard, but it was worth it in the end. We show them all celebrating. And even this weird thing of them playing ping pong, but they are very happy. And at the start of the music video, there's some scenes of some other people playing ping pong, and it looks like they're bored and they're just killing time. But there, you can tell that there's definitely people being happy. And the one thing that was happening then that's not in the present was they had their villain. Right there. So now his best friend is becoming the villain. Real quick, he took out his eye to become the villain. Yeah, it just shows like he's obviously the sanctuary in what he would do for Joji. And it's not only for Joji, it is for him. They're kind of going back to a time that was more enjoyable, and but he is really doing this for Joji, and it's a thing of love, you know. I don't think many people can say they have a friend that would become a villain for them and take out their eye, but you know, it's a strong sense of love. Warp speed for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. And then also just wanted to point out that smirk. Like in prison showing of Joji, not the past showing, he's always been depressed and he's been bored. There's nothing to do. They've defeated the only villain that provided them with something to do. And now his friend has taken over the role, and now we see him smirk. We can see some sense of happiness and a sense of like him reliving the past again, all because of his friend. But yeah, that's the end of the music video. But yeah, so we definitely saw some themes here. We saw the spoon. Joji was reminiscing with the spoon, thinking of all the, like, if he became the villain, kind of, or maybe if it wasn't him thinking he wanted to become the villain, he's just, I don't know, he's looking at the spoon and it reminds him of the villain, and it reminds him of the good times that were tied with the villain, because it was something that killed that boredom. But of course, that's also what the eye is representing, just the villain. And then we see his friend here, who has become the villain for Joji. And another thing is been seeing that the crystal has been taken from the villain, and then Joji and his crew get the crystal, whatever. But now, since he's the villain, he took the crystal. And yeah, so that means that like Joji now has something to do. He's defeated his boredom with his friend, who is becoming the villain for him, becoming that he is that sanctuary for him. All these good memories that they have together and everything, and the stuff that he does for Joji to make him happy and to relive that past. So there we go, right into the final review. I gave this a 9.5 out of 10. I think, personally, I think it's a 10 out of 10. But I did bump it down to a half. Not much, I know. But I think it's because I know that there is a lot of people who think there's some weird things going on. Whether it's the dances, the taking out of the eyes, the whole story even, you know? I think there is a weird theme to it that it's not going to be for everybody. But I think majority of people, when you look at the like to dislike ratio, enjoy this music video. And so do I. I definitely recommend it. And I definitely recommend listening to Joji. Yeah, that's my final review. And then, just with some ending message of just a message of love, you know? It's a valuable thing. And I think find someone who's a good enough friend who will make you smile like this, who will make you smile like Joji is. Find that sanctuary. Especially like in a time where we're going through a pandemic, you know, support is needed, and love is valuable. And I think this song really portrays that message in a very, very strong way. I mean, I don't think you should take out your eye or become a villain for your friend, but to be there for him, be that sanctuary. But yeah, you know, I think it's a valuable thing and it's a good message. And I kind of am asking you guys to talk or reach out to a special one in your life, because it's important and it means something to them and to you. So yeah, reach out to somebody. Anyways, that's it. Peace.